Which truck will you buy if Toyota screws up the Tacoma? It could happen. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. So the big question, which truck will you buy if Toyota screws up the Tacoma? Now, this is something I never would have thought of in the past until they came out with the redesigned Tundra. Now, I think it is a very strong possibility that Toyota could screw up the Tacoma. I mean, if you look at what they've done with the Tundra, it doesn't bode well for the Tacoma. They're going to put this twin turbo or even single turbo engine in it. That's going to drastically change the power. Not that it's a power beast right now, but it doesn't need to be any slower. I think the results of that engine are going to be quick off the line, which I love, but then nothing left after that. Hopefully I'm wrong. What about the design of it? You know, if they go the route of the Tundra, it's going to have this great big mustache grill on the front. Of course, it'll be chrome unless you go with some special package. It's going to have mirrored inserts on the bumper in the back. That's just about as horrid as you could possibly get. And then it's going to have some really funky body lines that just don't seem to line up right. Let's hope they don't do that. What about the interior? You know we're going to get a screen, probably a bigger screen, which I like, but a screen that kind of sits up above the dash that just doesn't flow right inside. That's going to be a drag. And of course, lastly, the new gremlins that'll come along with a redesigned truck. They're experiencing that now somewhat in the new Tundra with panel fitting issues, flow issues as far as everything marrying up properly, seats that won't close right. Of course, we know about the turbo problem. That's more major. Hopefully they get that solved before they ever do anything with our beloved Toyota Tacoma. But let's take a look. What would I do if Toyota really screws up the Tacoma? And it's going to take a lot for me, to be honest. I mean, I have this channel. This is what I do. I do love the Tacoma, so they would really have to ruin it for me not to buy it. So I'm kind of going out on a ledge here. But if it did happen, I would have to consider some of the competition. Maybe a Ford, maybe a Hyundai. I don't know. You know, there's some interesting things going on too with the electric market. You know, by the time Toyota comes out, yeah, it may still be a bit too early, but probably by the time Toyota comes out with the new Tacoma, there'll be some mid-size entries out there as far as the electric market goes. Now, the problem with that, we still won't have the infrastructure, so it's probably a real long shot for me in going with an all-electric truck. But I tell you, I really do like the Rivian that's out there. That's very tempting. Would have to become more mainstream for me, and that company really has to become more established because my biggest concern about them is they're new, and will they be around 4, 5, 10 years from now? Who knows? We shall see. But realistically, there are the micro trucks, and if I'm being honest, the micro trucks do interest me a little bit. You know, I'm kind of digging that, I hate to say it, that Hyundai, what is it, Santa Cruz? I think that's a pretty neat looking little truck. And I think if it were to be lifted just a little, you couldn't lift that much, but just a little, and some bigger tires on it, maybe poke out just a little, I think it could be a pretty slick looking little ride. Of course, we have the Ford Maverick. I'm not really digging that truck. I mean, I don't find it to be horrible from an aesthetic standpoint, but it's a Ford. I don't really want a Ford. Still have a bad taste in my mouth with Ford due to the 2 F-150s I had that had some kind of weird transmission problems. So I'm not really digging that. Plus, we have what, a 4-cylinder EcoBoost? I don't know. Now, there is rumor about the Ranger that's very interesting. There's rumor that they're going to put a V6 in it, which I don't think is much of a rumor. I think that's probably going to happen. But there's also talk about them dropping a V8 in the Ford Ranger. Now that would be awesome. I don't know what it would cost. Probably be an $80,000 mid-size truck, but still, a V8 in a truck that size would be awesome. What about a manual transmission in it? Do you think Ford will go all out? I kind of doubt it. I think it'll have a V8. It'll be a hopped up version of the Ranger, which will be pretty cool, but I think it's still going to be an automatic transmission. I still think that the days of the manual are probably over, only because the population that actually knows how to drive them keeps shrinking. So it would be interesting to see. I'm not sure. As far as the other brands out there, you know what, the Colorado, that doesn't really interest me much. And you don't hear a whole lot about that truck. I don't know why. I think it's probably due for a redesign of some sort itself. What is the other, the Canyon, I think. I kind of group those together. They're both GM products. But you don't hear a lot about them anymore. I think you're probably going to see a big redesign coming up for them. Whether they'll jump into the micro truck group, I don't know. My guess is probably so, because it seems the micro trucks are really hot. And there's a couple things I like about the micro trucks. One, they're still capable as far as having a bed and being able to haul stuff, but they fit. They fit everywhere. You know, right now in the garage that I have, I can only park trucks on that side because they don't fit on that side. The micro truck, I think, would. Be nice to be able to utilize my whole garage and get my vehicle inside if I want to. Plus, I like the fuel economy. You know, I'm not really concerned about it. I mean, I own 3 trucks and a Jeep Wrangler. So fuel economy obviously is not real high on my concern level. But still, any amount of money that you can save at the pumps is more money I can use to put into mods. And you know, I'm all about the mods. I love changing the trucks. That's a concern of mine, though, about going with a different brand, particularly one of these new micro trucks. What kind of modding environment is there out there? How much is going to be available? You know, I think by the time that Toyota screws up the Tacoma, they'll have caught up and there'll be a lot of options out there, but still probably not as many as what there are for the Tacoma, even when Toyota comes out with the redesign. It's going to be very interesting to see. So anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Which truck will you buy if Toyota really screws up the Tacoma? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. RobMotive FST, all about full-size trucks. And RobMotive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.